Hello and welcome into WKYT's Game Time Unplugged. I'm Lindsay Goff. He's Steve Moss. It is New Year's Eve. You already told me you don't have any plans. I hopefully have plans if I can get out of here in time.
Yeah.
But let's talk some basketball. Hopefully their New Year's plans are to win more games. Specifically against ranked opponents, the UK men have a chance to do that on Saturday against Alabama. I think Alabama's in at 14 this week. That's a noon game on ESPN Saturday. Any thoughts?
Well, at first blush, the Alabama football team is still alive in the playoffs.
They are.
We'll find out tomorrow if some of those fans will be making their way back to Tuscaloosa or if they're going to be heading to the next destination.
Yeah. Maybe
Which I
they're
think is
slightly less engaged.
Maybe the Chick-fil-A Bowl, I think, would be next for Alabama if they win.
That seems right.
The other good news for Kentucky is that the students aren't on campus, I don't think.
Also true.
So Kentucky may be playing in front of a less raucous crowd in Tuscaloosa.
Coleman seems to have been rowdy the last few years.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Anytime, I mean, you know, what did Cal tell us?
Yeah, it's a T-shirt game.
It was always somebody's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I just think that they got to get off to a fast start. Mm-hmm. They've got to rebound and control the glass because you know they're not going to make all their shots.
Right.
But speaking of, a guy like Cam Williams has got to show some consistency.
He had a good game last time out.
Colin Chandler, a little more consistent with the jump shot. You know, they're going to have to make shots. That's the thing. And then, the unknown factors, we kind of know what JQ and Jalen Lowe bring to the table, but you would like to see them where Lowe doesn't go out of the game with, with a shoulder.
We've only seen them play a half together.
Yeah. And you know that Quaintance is going to mix it up and stir it up and play rim protector. So,
yeah.
I just think they got to make shots.
They both add so much to this team. Kentucky is so much better when those two are out on the court. It's a really small sample size, just like the second half of the St. John's game. We saw them together. So I said this yesterday with Lee K, and I'll say it again. I think we're going to learn a whole lot about Mark Pope's team in the month of January when they start to get into league play. They're seeing some ranked opponents, and hopefully they have those two out on the court together. We're in the midst of a 10-day stretch right now without a men's basketball game, and it'll be almost 2 weeks for Lowe between games because he didn't play against Bellarmine. So hopefully he's been in the training room. And
you got to think that he is.
And they've been experimenting in the lineups and trying to incorporate those guys a little bit more because JQ even said he only played 3 full-out practices before he made his season debut. So hopefully they're ironing out some kinks.
Well, I mean, if you're Jalen Lowe, it just comes down to managing the pain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What is your pain threshold at this point? Because you know that in that league and with some of those guys, you're gonna get bumped around.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to see it happen again, and it's just going to be a matter of can they put the shoulder back in place and how much pain can he tolerate?
So they've won 2 Power 5 games, 1 against a ranked opponent. So their non-conference was pretty tough, even though they lost a lot of those games and they were kind of ugly. Head coach Mark Pope said yesterday in his press conference to preview Saturday's game that he thinks they're battle-tested and that non-conference slate got them ready for conference play. So here's what he had to say.
I think Indiana and St. John's both with second halves that were elite level basketball in both cases, I think confirmed some of the work that the guys had been doing and some of the direction we were going. And I think that the way our guys are comfortable approaching the game on offense and defense has been an evolving piece that we're learning about more every day.
All right, so the Cats and the Tide on Saturday. I haven't seen a line out for that one, but ESPN Analytics had Alabama as the favorite. Obviously.
I'm sure they're playing at home, and Alabama, until somebody goes down there and beats them, they're going to be a favorite on their home court. We'd mentioned earlier ranked teams in the league. Alabama, one of those teams that was a preseason top 25. They already have 3 losses, so. There are several teams in the league that have 3 losses. Kentucky's got a little more than that, but it just shows you that the league is not maybe as good as it was last year.
As it was, yeah.
So, Kentucky has a shot to go down there and get a win.
Make some noise.
Yeah.
And I think fans would certainly appreciate that.
Yeah.
Speaking of league play and wins, the UK women's team really starts 2026 with a bang. They open conference play on New Year's Day at LSU. That's an 8 p.m. game. LSU is undefeated. They are the number 5 team in the country. Kentucky's number 11. They're 13-1 so far. They're one loss to number 5, Maryland, on a neutral site. They got a tall task ahead.
Yeah, they do, and it's what dressed like Kim Mulkey Day.
Like Kim Mulkey Day.
So LSU fans are going to be.
We always joke about T-shirt Day. We've never had to dress like Kim Mulkey Day against Kentucky. So
well, you never know.
Sparkly and feathery all throughout.
You never know what she's going to have on until she takes the court, because it's she's kind of a fashionista when it comes to basketball coaches.
She's got her own style, that's for sure.
She does for sure. No, I've been pleasantly surprised with how Kentucky, with a new point guard, everybody's just kind of come in and picked up where they left off last year. That big front court, doing what it does best, which is blocking shots and getting easy buckets. We talk all the time about Kentucky getting to the Final Four in women's basketball. Yeah. Matthew Mitchell just always seemingly coming up just a hair short.
Yeah.
But I think Kenny Brooks is going to be the guy. I think he's going to be the guy to take them over that threshold.
Definitely.
Yeah. And it may not be this year, but I would think that Clara Strack, before she gets out of here, I think Clara's gonna get to a Final Four.
When I talked to him earlier this season, he called her a generational player.
Well, he had one last year.
He had one last year with Georgia A&M, which Toni Morgan, their new point guard, who's stepped into that role, she's the assist leader in the nation right now this year.
Oh, wow.
So this team could certainly make some noise in 2026, but you got to start with LSU.
Well,
and
then you
end on conference play.
I was going to say, yeah, with South Carolina. I mean, it's a tough league.
It's a tough
just like on the men's side and in football, this league is as tough as it gets.
And volleyball, even apparently.
Yeah.
Like, the SEC's kind of good at everything
now.
So yeah, that'll be a tough one for Kenny Brooks' team. That's an 8 p.m. Eastern game. And unfortunately, with all the college football playoffs, it's streaming only on the SEC Network Plus.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer, but what are you going to do? We'll have the highlights for you regardless if you can't stream.
There you go.
So we're going to take a quick timeout, and we will be right back on WKYT's Game Time Unplugged. All right, welcome back to WKYT's Game Time Unplugged on WKYT Plus. I'm Lindsay. He's Steve. The portal opens on Friday, Kentucky kind of lost its first projected starter in DJ Waller, a cornerback. He is expected to enter his name into the portal. That coming out today. That's the 9th UK football player so far. They still got a few days, but it's not quite as many as I expected it
no,
to be.
But I anticipate there might be a handful of others, and a guy like Ty Bryan announcing he's coming back, which is a huge bonus for UK in that secondary. Wouldn't it be something if Waller ends up back at Michigan where he started?
Never say never.
And unfortunately for him, Kentucky fans didn't really get to see him much this year at all because of nagging hamstring injury. And we heard Mark Stoops, almost every Saturday after a game saying, well, he gave it a go in warm-ups and he couldn't do it. So
he played just one full game, I think.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. And they could have used him.
One guy I was bummed to see enter the portal yesterday was Javion Campbell, a guy out of Western Hills. I know, he only played high school football 2 years. We were all kind of rooting for him. That was a fun story.
Because he's such a good kid.
And nice kid.
We talked to him there for a couple of years after, we found out that Kentucky had offered him and he probably was going to accept, but he just wants to play.
Right.
So
it's understandable. We don't fault him.
No. Go find a home and go out there and make plays.
Which also they can, I think, always choose to come back to. So
he could.
Could just be exploring options.
He probably has 4 years left.
We saw another Western Hills star leave Kentucky and come back eventually.
Albeit he only had the 1 year left. But and kudos to Wandale Robinson. He becomes the shortest player because he's only like 5'7.5".
Yeah.
The shortest player in the history of the NFL to have 1,000-yard receiving
Pretty cool
season.
Congratulations to him. All right, it's New Year's Eve, so really quick, I want to hit our favorite sports memories from 2025. I think mine's going to have to be following the UK volleyball team. It might be a recency bias as they finished as SEC regular season champs, SEC tournament champs, and national runner-up. That was a really fun and special team to follow.
I don't know if I have a favorite per se, but I'll say it was fun to watch Kentucky and Mark Pope kind of give fans a sense of what could become of this program after getting Kentucky to a Sweet 16 and playing in that second week of the tournament. After we had seen so many flameouts over the last couple of years, it was good. It was good for Pope and good for Kentucky fans to have that to cheer for.
I agree, and it's been fun to see Kenny Brooks build his program here as well.
And
they're going to be a lot of fun to watch.
I think a Final Four is on the horizon for those girls.
All right, well, let's hope. All right, that'll do it for us here on WKYT's Game Time Unplugged. We will see you guys in 2026.
Stay safe.
Everybody have a safe and happy New Year's Eve.